Invite Dr. Juhi Gupta from Bhopal.
A very good afternoon, sir. I'm audible. Am I audible?
Yes, absolutely. Go ahead.
Okay. A very good afternoon. I have to stick to my 10 minutes tenure. 21st April 2020 was a red letter day in the history of Ayush in terms of research on COVID, and it actually provided oxygen to Ayush in this breathless COVID crisis. We are talking about integration, which is a very, very challenging thing. And the most difficult part of it is acceptance and respect for every system with its merits and limitations and identifying them to work together. But this opportunity to work in a tertiary care center for 6 months with a team of 4 hours SRFs gave me an exposure to the current solidarity trials, which actually showed negligible output. So one of the very important findings which I have after performing this study is that if we don't look up into the engineering part, that is the high flow nasal oxygen, pipe tap ventilation, invasive ventilation, fluid electrolyte balance, central lines for parenteral feeding, intravenous blood albumin plasma infusions, the medical tract is almost alive in all systems of medicine. With Lassa, Nipah, yellow fever, Ebola, Zika, SARS-CoV-2, and many more to come, we can easily see that the management is with broad-spectrum antibacterial and antiviral drugs, which are going to give resistance. And so the coming times are going to be even more prospective for systems like homeopathy. Now, integration is the key word which has to come out of my study. And I'm very thankful for the 4 SRS, Dr. Devalina Das, Dr. Abhishek Saha, Dr. Deepak Kumar, Dr. Ashwini Kumar, who relentlessly worked inside the hospital for 4 months and 5 of us came out uninfected. After observing the results of my study, I will be in a position to tell you that in spite of individualizing every case, we have largely come down to a pathological similarity of the study only, and the leading homeopathic drugs are those which have got a sphere of action in this specific condition. Will you please share my presentation?
Yes, please go ahead.
Someone will share, sir, or should I share the presentation?
You share. If you have, please share.
Yeah, okay. So this study was a collaborative venture of the Central Council for Research in Homeopathy, Government Homeopathic Medical College and Hospital Bhopal, and Chirayu Medical College, which is a super specialty center of the state of Madhya Pradesh. The biggest thing about this was that the Chirayu Hospital gave us absolute freedom to practice our system. ये क्यों नहीं just a second क्या हो रहा है ये मुझे उसमें करना है please hold on for a second. Yeah, next slide please. So next slide. So this study was titled as an effective study on the individualized homeopathy. And as you all can see, it was performed in this hospital, and the objective was to compare the effectiveness of individualized homeopathic treatment as an add-on to standard treatment in COVID-19 infection. It was a randomized control trial, a placebo control trial, and a single blind study. Next, please. Now, the inclusion of the patients was all the patients who were positive, that is the confirmed cases, RT-PCR positive, who were clearly symptomatic and who were hospitalized to Chirayu, who were in the age range of 18 to 80 years, from both the sexes, willing to consent for the study. They were taken. And we did not take patients who had, next slide please, we did not take patients who had any comorbidities or who required ventilatory support on admission itself, or either were immunocompromised. Pregnant women and lactating mothers were also not included. There were few patients who were considered unfit for the study. They were also not included. Next, please. Now, if we look at the method we adopted for the study, we had enrolled total 300 patients in our study, and screening was done for 320 cases. 151 were uh, the standard care and homeopathy group, whereas 149 were the standard care and placebo group. Here I would like to tell that Chirayu Hospital is an example because they did not give medicines at the onset. They only provided multivitamin support, calcium support, good diet, and started medicines only if required. What I observed was, and what I achieved from the regular discussions with the pulmonologist was, who was also our co-investigator, that if we provide medicines at a very early stage, then the viral reaction which is beneficial for the body, which helps the proper immune response to come up, is suppressed. So they would advise the paracetamol also at a stage when the fever was automatically increasing. So out of these, if you can see, we had all the categories, the mild, moderate, and severe. So if we roughly divide the whole number of patients into two categories, we observed that almost half the patients, including both the groups, were in the lower respiratory tract infection stage and half in the upper respiratory tract infection stage. That is, the early moderate cases and middle moderate cases also are in the upper respiratory involvement cases. Next, please. Now, when the upper respiratory tract is involved, then there is good immune response, which is a healthy response of the body. Whereas when the lower respiratory tract involves and the disease progresses, then the immune response becomes, we can say, unstipulated. So in that condition, it becomes a risky situation. But luckily, we could handle both. Now, what we observed was that in the what we were there to observe was that in the standard care, people were given the individualized homeopathy. We complied to the drug relationship, that is, follow wells, complementary, intercurrent medicines, and in few cases, just a handful cases, we got very clear cut history of old diseases. So we had to give diseases based on miasmatic analysis as well. Now, on in the other group, now, so what we observed in the standard care was that only when there was urgent need, they were giving the antibiotic, which was azithromycin. This hospital gave medicines only for 5 days. That was maximum. So we had a very good chance to test our ability. But there was oxygen supply which was provided around 4 to 5 liters per day to almost all the moderate and severe patients. Electrolyte imbalances were taken care of. Inflammation was catered to in just 3-4 cases. They had given steroids, and glycemic index was monitored. And in the established diabetic cases, it was being supplemented with medications. Next, please. The outcomes were, the primary outcome was to assess the clinical recovery of patient or the requirement of life support. The secondary were to see the fever clearance, change in the severity of the symptom, time to recovery, time to resolution of pneumonia, and hospital stay. Next, please. Hospital stay, actually, they had a very, very standard method of keeping all the patients in the hospital for 10 days. So in our case, the days to recovery became very important. So as you all can see from the data very clearly, that both the groups had almost similar representation. Patients were falling in all age groups, so the average age is somewhere between 40 to 43. Definitely males were more. Mild cases, moderate cases were almost equal. Severe cases were less. Few were hypertensive, diabetes. Next, please. Now, here we see the observations, and we can see in the SpO2, which is very remarkable, we can see that we have addressed patients with lesser than 90% saturation also. And there also the results are there. But we have significant result in cases of pneumonia, which was clearly established. Let me tell you that we have done CT scanning for each of the patients, and it is very clearly seen that the lower lobes bilaterally were affected, and that is why the reason the medicines which are coming out in the end, we can correlate it then and there. Next, please. So here again, we can see that in patients, we had significant improvement in shortness of breath, then sputum production, and the chills which the patient felt basically because of weakness. Next, please. Now coming to the main findings which we have, that is the recovery of the patient. So if we look at this graph, we can see a very clear-cut benefit in the homeopathic intervention, whereby from the beginning we can see that the steep slope of the homeopathic intervention makes the person feel very comfortable from the 4th to 5th day itself. This was our major achievement. Our person was comfortable on the 4th and 5th day, whereas in the placebo group, the patient used to be comfortable towards the 8th, 7th or 8th or 9th day. So this was our major achievement. Next, please. Again, if we see this Kaplan-Meier depiction of the time event scale, in the midline at 0.5, we can see that there is a clear-cut 2 days difference here. We can see that there is a clear-cut 2 days improvement in the recovery phase. So in this COVID crisis, when there is such a scarcity of hospital services and beds, we were able to give a very clear-cut 2-day benefit to the patient in recovering and in coming down to the minimum symptoms or no symptom state. Next, please. Here again we see that the resolution of fever in the patients was improved on an average by 20 hours. There were cases in which the fever responded even quicker, but on an average or in the whole study we could see that in every patient at least 20 hours benefit was there. Next, please. So this is the finding, and which is a very clear-cut indication of the pathological importance of such epidemics, which show that in spite of doing the individualization part very clearly, we are having medicines which are falling almost equally. And in our group, we have got phosphorus. And the phosphorus came out to be a leader and very effective medicine, because there was dry cough, there was extreme debility, and the patient was lying down comfortably. And if we relate it to the spheres of action of phosphorus, it was a very successful implementation. Next, please. Besides Bryonia, arsenic album, and Restox. Now, from this, we can clearly conclude that in this study, which was done in a government-dedicated center on 300 patients with a pulmonologist as our co-investigator, and in a setup which was of the standard treatment care, we are able to give results which have been documented and confirmed by the people of that hospital. We have given a clear-cut 2% 2-day early improvement compared to patients receiving placebo alone with standard care, in spite of 50% pneumonia cases in the add-on homeopathy case group compared to 43% in the control group. Fever resolution was improved by 20 hours. There's a clear-cut identification of leaders in the homeopathic management. So in the times to come, we can give a very good input on the indications and of the homeopathic remedy. And homeopathy, with its merit, has a significant role in management of COVID-19 in mild, moderate, and severe cases. That is the conclusion. Thanks for patiently.
Thank you, Judy, for such a wonderful presentation. I would just like to give you one or two suggestions. Since you have already shortlisted drugs and you are very comfortable in prescribing these 4 drugs with reasonable success, my suggestion will be to now try to, during the second wave, if you get opportunity in the same place, you must do blinded randomized control trial, because now you are having drugs in hand, experience is there. If it is feasible, you must try. So my compliments to you, and must also do subgroup analysis of pneumonia cases separately than the mild one, because there is a possibility of self-recovery in mild cases, but try to do separate subgroup analysis of moderate and severe cases. Thank you. Thank you for joining.